Good morning. For those of you that don't know me, I'm a senior, and I'm also a competitive alpine ski racer, and this is my senior stage. 10 seconds. Racer ready? 5, 4, 3. I don't hear the rest of the count because I'm already gone. My anxious restlessness and upset stomach have disappeared. Within seconds, my mindset has changed from one of apprehension to one of focused determination. And then, within another few seconds, that mindset changes again. The rushing in my ears becomes the harsh scraping sound of my body across the snow and ice as I slide down the hill on my side. I'm done, out, finished, over. I crashed. I failed. That was the beginning of my Common App personal essay. They gave you a few prompts, and the one that I chose said, recount an instant or time when you experienced failure. How did it affect you, and what did you learn from this? This question, among others, made me feel like I had to figure out who I was, who I wanted to be, and the entire meaning of life. Which, of course, I didn't know the answer to any of those. So I wrote as best I could to answer this ultimate cliche with some originality. So of course I wrote about skiing, because that's something that I feel is unique to me and something that I'm passionate about and could write well about. I used this single crash as a metaphor for all the times that I had failed to meet expectations. Expectations that came from others, but mostly myself. In one draft, I wrote about how last year I made myself so nervous before races, especially at states, that I would physically get sick at the top of the hill before the start. I was nervous about what might happen if I didn't finish where I wanted to. And this year, I finally figured out what would. Absolutely nothing. I learned that failure is a matter of perception. Many New England or Western states laugh at the size of Pennsylvania's mountains in comparison to theirs. No one from Pennsylvania goes on to the World Cup to be a professional racer. And in the overall skiing community, this meant that my Pennsylvania results were really insignificant. In a different context, however, my results would be extremely significant. I had finished second in the state this year, which might be completely unimaginable for someone else. They might dream of making the top 10, but that's something you don't always think about. And I had a similar realization this spring with my college process as well. In March, I was waitlisted at my first choice school. And when asked about this result, they say, "Oh, did you get in?" And I answered with a reluctance and a sort of disappointment, because obviously I was upset that I hadn't gotten in. But then one day, someone congratulated me on being waitlisted. They said, "Young lady, that's an amazing accomplishment." And receiving congratulations for something I originally viewed as a failure helped me put things into perspective. So whether in skiing or in academics, my success or failure was based on the expectations I had for myself. And my vision was one-sided. I saw only those who had beaten me, but not those that I had beaten. And I saw only how far I had to go and not how far I had come. And now I've realized that just because I'm not where I want to be in skiing or in life doesn't mean that I've failed. All of my experiences are still worth something. They've made me who I am. And I've actually achieved a lot, even if it isn't quite what I wanted it to be. And when I let that reality sink in, a lot of the pressure was lifted off my shoulders. I stopped getting so nervous at the top that I'd get sick. And I remembered why I loved skiing in the first place. I performed better. And I love skiing because I love the thrill of the wind in my ears, the pounding of my heart in time with my skis carving out turns, the uncertainty of whether or not I'll make that next gate, and then the excitement when I do. It's about that flawless turn when the skis catch just right and accelerate me so sharply down the hill that it feels like I'm literally falling, just on the edge of control. It's a sensation, that perfect moment when mind, body, and equipment align. And I realized that I love the sport for the way I felt while I was racing, not the results. When I focused on having fun instead of the what-ifs, I became more confident, and I stopped holding myself back. I realized that a lot of it was me, not external factors. And in skiing, or in life, you can't hold back. You must attack, be aggressive, forward in your boots, knees bent, like shocks on a car, ready to absorb all the twists and turns and unexpected rolls that the hill throws at you. And sometimes the course hits hard, you fall, and it can be tremendously difficult to get back up again. Maybe this time you're not strong, smart, fast, or just plain good enough, but that's okay. It's okay to crash, to lose, to not meet expectations, to fail, because fear of failure will only hold you back. You have to give yourself permission to fail. That's kind of a weird concept. But no one achieves the extraordinary by striving to be ordinary. So when you set lofty goals for yourself, you're not always going to meet them. And sometimes you won't meet your own expectations, but that's okay. And pursuing your goals requires some risk. But like Dr. Kaufman said on Monday, don't let others tell you which risks are necessary and which are not. Others may know the odds, but they do not know you. So go for it. Take that chance. Sometimes you can't beat circumstances, and sometimes passion just isn't enough. But sometimes it is. So this part of his speech had a profound impact on me because that's relevant to another decision I'm making in my life. I think that I might take a year off between high school and college to pursue skiing for a year, and in that time I would train and race in the hopes of making a college team, an NCAA Division I or Division III, depending on where I go. And I don't know if it's going to work out. I don't know if 1 year will be enough to overcome the geography that has placed me at a disadvantage throughout my entire skiing career. But I'll take my risk to see if it might. Because even if it doesn't, I will have spent the past year doing something that I love, and that makes it worth it. So I don't claim to know that I have everything figured out, but there are a couple big ideas that I want you to take away from this. Set high goals for yourself. Give yourself permission to fail. Take the pressure off. Don't let the odds or fear of failure stop you from pursuing your passions. And lastly, believe in yourself. As cliche as that sounds, it's really important. In our little world that is Shady Side Academy, it's easy to focus on what you have not achieved rather than what you have. Look around you. We attend a nationally respected private school. Only 10% of high school students go to private schools, and we're at one of the best. It says, I think about 100% of the students graduate and go on to a four-year college or university. So we are naturally at an advantage. No matter where you go, you're going to do well, and you would have to try hard not to. So if you don't make varsity this year, you don't pass that test, or you don't get onto that college team you're hoping for, you don't get into the college you're hoping for, it's okay. It may seem extremely important now, and of course it is in some sense, but it's not as life-changing as it seems. Failure is a matter of perception and your own expectations. So how will you choose to see it?